guys? Welcome back to I Am the B.F.P, where we're being the positive we want to see. What is it? Hey y'all. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who has watched my last two videos. I really appreciate you guys. The love and the comments, the likes, the follows, and everything that I have received from you guys during these past couple of weeks have been amazing. It is such a blessing to be able to share my journey with you guys, and you guys could kind of get to know a little bit more about me, or if you know me, just know a little bit about my infertility journey and things that I have been through in my life that has made me a stronger person. So I appreciate you guys, love you guys so much. If you are new here, well boo, go ahead and watch those last two videos. They'll give you a little bit of information about what you have in store for you, what you subscribe to, because we're not going to be like Netflix and up the prices. You know, they need to put out some new movies, by the way. We're not going to surprise you. We want you to know what you're in for, what you're on this positive journey, this positive infertility journey with me. So go ahead and watch those last two videos so you can get an idea of what you have in store, because I'm bringing it, okay? Just know that, okay? We're going to have fun. We're going to have positivity, even though these subjects and these storylines, these stories and these things that we go through, they may be hard, but God has us in his heart. He is holding our hand through our journeys, and he is going to bless us all with our rainbow babies. Or if you just want to just get through things in life, just give it all to him and he will take care of it, okay? So that's my little spiel. So just go back and watch those videos if you're new here, and welcome. I'm glad to see you. See, I knew you was coming, so I put on a little green for you, a little money green. I'm just joking. But okay y'all, let's get into it. So if you know by the title of my story, this is a story about my ectopic pregnancy. So let's go back in time once again to 2012. And if you haven't watched the last two videos, my last video was a video of me explaining the loss of my baby girl, Kayla. It happened in 2008. She had a pulmonary hemorrhage in her lungs. She was born April 21st and died May 3rd. So this is where it gets a little, girl, no you didn't, in this story. You know, you always got a story, be like, ooh, this is one of them. So 2012, I was dating my husband at the time. We had been dating for about 2 years at that point. And the same year in 2012 was actually the year my mom turned 50. So this year will be 10 years. She'll be 60 in October. So, okay, mama. So me, my best friend, Raya, I love you so much. My sister, my best friend's mom, which is my mom's best friend, we all went to Atlanta for her 50th birthday. Now, TMI, before we left, I was on my cycle. So I started my cycle before we left. So I was like, boom, I'm not gonna be on it too much longer. You know, it was at the tail end by the time we got to Atlanta. So I was just like, okay, cool. Because everybody know, all the girls, we don't like to go out of town with our cycles on, because we like to, you know, wear our little dresses, have a good time, dance, not having to go to the restroom, putting tampons in your purse, pads, whatever you may wear. It is a hassle. Nobody likes to do that. Y'all know we do this with our homegirl, like, girl, check the bag. Is it anything making in my pants? Like, let me get over real quick. Is it something back there? Like, you know, nobody wants to do that when they're on vacation. They want to go, turn up, and get back to the house, okay? So that was our whole plan, and I'll insert some pictures now. Not too much, because me and my best friend, we were 26 at the time. We were living our best lives, so not too much on us, but we had the time of our lives there. Her cousin Brandy's there. Brandy's watching. Hey, Brandy. She lives in Atlanta, so she showed us a great time. Like, we were going to hookah lounges and eating, going out to eat. Going out at night. You know, we went to this one club. I met Erica and Scrappy, and I'll insert a picture. Y'all are part of my ectopic journey, Erica and Scrappy. Little did y'all know. So, y'all, we had the best time, though. It was amazing. And so, Okay, boom. So we were there having a good time. We got back. And you know, when you get back in town and you see your boo, you be like, what's up? And he was like, what's up? So, sorry, mama-in-law, but you know, you do what grown folks do when you miss somebody, right? So after that happened, y'all, I was in so much pain. I was hurting so bad. When I tell y'all I was hurting so bad, I was shaking like this. And he was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I don't know. Like, maybe it's something from my cycle, or maybe, I don't know, maybe something I ate. I don't know what. Y'all, when I tell you the pain was so intense, it was radiating all up my stomach. It was just, I could tell where it was coming from, but it was painful, okay? Painful. Okay, so probably about after, you know, we did what we did, maybe like, you know, it started hurting right after, and then maybe it lasted probably like an hour. So I was like, okay, well, this is just something that just happened, and just freak accident, I guess. And so 2 or 3 days later, it came back. But this time, baby, it came back and sat down. Ooh, it came back with a vengeance. It did not stop hurting. Y'all, when I'm talking about hurting, I can't even compare this to anything that's I ever felt in my life. It's not no stomach cramp. It ain't no cramp. It ain't no constipation. It's no feeling that you've ever felt. If you know, I know a lot of people, if you're watching this because you're trying to feel like you're trying to see if you're having an ectopic, or if you've had an ectopic, it is nothing that you compare to. If they comparing it to cramps, that's a lie. It is not anything that you have ever felt. I've never given birth vaginally, so I've never had contractions. So I don't know if that's what that feel like. But ma'am, if that feels like contractions, sign me up for epidural. Baby, before you even let me down, put the IV in, give me epidural. Cause when I tell y'all that was, oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about it. It hurts so bad. And I have a really high pain tolerance. But baby, I couldn't take it. I couldn't even sit down on my butt, y'all. I had to like lay there. I had to like sit, you know, when I sat down, I had to sit like on my side. It hurt so bad. So when it didn't go away this time, I was like, I gotta go to the ER. You know me being young, what I do? Go on WebMD, go on Google, and was like, okay, let me figure out what's going on. Like maybe my appendix burst. That's what I thought. Like my appendix was bursting or something like that. So I was just like, okay, let me get to the ER, because this is a very emergent situation, because now it's not stopping. So got to the ER. Called my mama, she was at work, and she was like, I went to UT Southwestern, and she was like, okay, I'll be there when I'm gonna leave work early, and I'm gonna come and I'm gonna be with you. I was like, okay, cool. So I sat there, and they pulled me back. Of course they did blood work, urine, and stuff like that. And so the doctor came back in, and he was like, you pregnant? I was like, wait, excuse me, what did you say? He was like, you're pregnant. I just busted out crying. And I looked at my mama like, oh my, I was like this, like, oh my God. And my mama was just laughing. The doctor was like, is this a good thing or a bad thing? No, sir, it's a very good thing. You have to, and that's why I said watch the last video, because I had just lost my daughter in 2008, y'all. This is 2012. So me finding out I was pregnant after a loss was terrifying. I was just like, oh, and then I'm hurting on top of that. So it was just like, oh my gosh. Ugh, like I was freaking out. And so I called my husband. At the time, he was my boyfriend, but I called him and I was like, I'm pregnant. And he was like, really? Let's set up a savings. Let's do this, that. Like he was on it, y'all. Like he was ready to start. He was so excited. And he was like ready to set up things. Like we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to get ready. You know, and I had just told him. And at the time, unfortunately, his dad was put in the hospital like the same day I found out I was pregnant. So he was dealing with his dad. And that night, like he came to my house, y'all. We went to have Hooters and we talked. talked, and he was just rubbing my stomach, even though like nothing was physically there. Like, he was just being so attentive to my needs and just being there for me, even though he was going through stuff with his dad. It was such an amazing feeling, and I'll never ever forget that. It was so special to me. So the emergency room ended up releasing me, and as you know, like I said, we went home, he was there, and then we cuddled and talked and stuff like that. And then he was like, follow up with your GYN, because it may be too early to see if it's anything in your uterus. So I was like, okay, bet. I follow up, boom. So the next, I want to say that was like on a Friday or something, because I didn't go, I want to say it was like earlier in the week that I went to my GYN. I'm not sure if it was over the weekend or it was a couple of days till I can go see my GYN, basically. So I got in with the GYN and did the ultrasound. And then the ultrasound lady was like, I'll be right back. She hit me with that. And you already know what that means. When they say that they'll be right back, you know it's not anything good. And let me tell you something. If it's ultrasound people watching this, please, y'all, please, just give me a little something. You don't gotta tell me just, I don't know, but it created so much anxiety. Remember, I had just lost my daughter in 2008. Now you're telling me I'm pregnant again. Now you're telling me you'll be right back. But you're not telling me anything. Y'all, I was freaking out. So I'm laying on the bed, half naked. You know what I'm saying? You got your shirt on. Ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about. You got your shirt on. It was just nerve-wracking. So the doctor comes in, she said, well, unfortunately, you're having a tubal pregnancy. It's called an ectopic pregnancy, and the baby is growing in your fallopian tube. So unfortunately, we have to terminate the pregnancy. So being 26 and not knowing nothing, I said, y'all can't suck the baby out and put it in my uterus? Girl, I don't. And it's not funny. I promise y'all, it's not funny at all. But I really thought that. I was like, there's no way that y'all can like surgically. And I want to know, like, maybe later on down the line, they'll figure out some things to do that. I don't know, y'all, but I had no idea what this was. So I was just asking questions. She was like, no. No. I just said no. Like, we have to terminate it. So she said, we're gonna give you some methotrexate injections, and it'll make the baby stop growing, and eventually my body will basically miscarry the baby or whatever. So I was like, okay. She was like, you know, it's 4 injections, 2 in each cheek. When I tell y'all, them injections burned like the scorch of the earth. Oh, it hurt. So just imagine how I felt, y'all. I was already having pain in my bottom from the ectopic, and then you giving me shots in both my cheeks, not one cheek, but both my cheeks. So now I can't even sit like this no more. Now I'm just out of there. I'm out of there. It's just hurting everywhere. I'm just, at this point, I'm just feeling pain. It's just a normal thing to me, just day to day. Hey, good morning, I'm hurting. Yeah, I'm hurting. It's just me. So after she gave me the injection, she was like, okay, you're good. You can go to work next week. Because I had took a week off going through all of this. She was like, you can go to work next week. It'll just dissolve on its own. It'll come out like a miscarriage, blah, blah, blah. Never had a miscarriage before. Didn't know what to expect. So I was just like, okay, you know, that's all I need to look for. She was like, yeah, no problem. You know, business as usual. Okay. So unfortunately, y'all, the same day that I had the injections to dissolve the pregnancy, my husband's father passed away. It was so unfortunate and unexpected. He was in the hospital, but it was just such a sad thing. And then my husband, being is the awesome man that he is, even though we were going through losing a baby, he lost his father, he still was there for me, still supported me, still came and laid with me, because, you know, at the point I couldn't drive, I couldn't do anything, I was in so much pain, and he still, like, you know, was there for me, even though he was there for, he had to be there for his family as well as he wanted to make sure I was good. It was just an emotional time for both of us, you know, because I had, you know, going from losing a daughter in 2008 to getting pregnant again with my husband at the time, you know, my husband or boyfriend at the time, but you know what I'm trying to say. And losing that baby, it was just it was a tumultuous time for both of us. But God is so good, and we learned so many lessons going through that. Communication is key, supporting each other, and all of that good stuff. But I'm not even gonna talk about that. But we talking about this ectopic, right? Okay, so after the shots and all of that happened, maybe 2 days after the shots, I was telling my mom, I was like, I'm still not feeling right. Like, something is not right. And she was like, well, what's wrong? And I was like, I don't know. I can't put my hand on it, but I'm going back to the doctor. Like, I know she told me I could go back to work, but something is just not right. I don't feel comfortable going back to work knowing that I'm hurting like this. So I worked at a warehouse. I worked at a manufacturing company, and I worked overnight. So I was lifting boxes. I was on a forklift. Your girl was on a forklift. I'm a manual labor girl. You know, I work from home now. Thank God. Thank you, Jesus. But I would, at the time, you know, I was working hard, you know, and I didn't want to go to work lifting stuff and driving forklift, and I'm still hurting like that. So went back to the doctor, and I was just like, I just want to get checked because I still feel like something is off or whatever. She was like, okay, cool, we'll check you. So went in, got checked. Here she go again. I'll be right back. Okay, lady. Because at this point, we're gonna fight. Because I was like, stop doing that. Tell me something. You know what, matter of fact, they need to have like something on the ultrasound screen where they can send a quick message like, doctor, come to ultrasound room 3. Because it is so nerve-wracking for you to leave the room and leave me in there with my thoughts. I don't even, like, I have no idea what's going on. Y'all are talking for about 10-15 minutes outside the door. Like, it's just so nerve-wracking. Please, somebody invent that. Please. Because I'm telling y'all, if you've ever been through it, you know what I'm talking about. It is so nerve-wracking. Like, just tell me what's going on at this point. I know it's not good, but just tell me and we'll deal with the aftermath. But anyway, y'all. So, doctor comes back in. Girl, the doctor had on flip-flops and socks. And I remember that so vividly because remember, I'm laying on the bed with the half naked again, with the drape over me, and I'm looking over, and all I saw was flip-flops and socks. And I looked up, and it was the doctor. I'm like, what you doing here? She was like, so the injections didn't work, so we need to do emergency surgery, like right now. I was just like, wait a minute, like right now? She was like, right now. You need to go down to the emergency room right now. Because, you know, the building I was in was a professional building, but it was at the hospital. So I was like, oh, okay, you know, what's going on? She was like, the baby is still growing. The methotrexate did not work. That stubborn baby is still growing. He ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. She wants to be here. So she didn't say that. I was just saying it. And so I was like, okay. So my sister, she had, thank God. Hey, Andy, thank you, love you so much. She had ended up coming to the doctor with me that day by the grace of God. And I had told her in the waiting room, I was like, so I gotta go have surgery? She was like, what? Like, we coming for a checkup. I said, well, I gotta go have surgery. That's what the doctor said. So we went down to the emergency room, and you know, they give you the paperwork to do your insurance and stuff. And me and my sister just having a conversation. I guess we just talking about it, and she had called my mom. My mom was like, okay, I'll leave work and I'll come over there and sit with y'all, whatever. Honey, I promise y'all, we were down there 5 minutes, and the doctor came running to the waiting room in flip-flops and socks and was like, what are you doing? You need to be prepping for surgery now. And I was like, well, the people sat me here. Like, they told me to fill out this paperwork and stay here. You know they're gonna get that coins, honey. And she was like, you know they're gonna get that coin, so they told me to come sit down. And she was like, you need to be back there now, like right now. And so she grabbed me. She was like, we gotta go. So y'all, I promise y'all, they took me back to the back. They put a wristband on me, verified my date of birth, verified my name. They put an IV in my arm. I wouldn't even sleep when they took me to the surgery room. I was wide awake. So I'm laying on the bed, y'all, and it's about 6 people around me. Oh, you watched the Mavericks last night? Oh yeah, they won. You see, what's the name? Scored them points. I'm like, can y'all focus? Is everybody ready? It's not funny, y'all, but I promise y'all, that's what I was thinking. I was just like, damn, it's everybody suited and booted. What is going on? So, you know they do that thing. Okay, count back from 100. So I'm still listening to this conversation that these doctors are having. And I don't know if that was surgery tech people or the doctors, but that was very like, y'all need to come in ready. Y'all need to be talking about this procedure y'all finna do to me, because I'm finna be knocked out. And I promise y'all, I don't even think I made it to 90. You know, they tell you to come back from 100. I don't even think I made it to 90, and I woke up in the recovery room. So I woke up in the recovery room, and the nurse told me, she was just like, I asked her, how did the surgery go? She said the surgery went well, but they had to take your whole left fallopian tube. And at the time, y'all, I was like, what? So I can't even have kids. That's the first thing I said. I was like, I can't even have kids anymore. Like, they took my whole tube. And I didn't tell her that, but at the time, that's what I was thinking. And so they took me upstairs to the recovery room. My mom was there, and they make you poop before you leave. Oh my gosh, that was the most horrendous experience. Because y'all, I mean, the pain that I felt going through the ectopic and then having them remove the tube was horrible. It was hurting more than having the ectopic. And then I had to poop before I left. Oh my God. Just take me down, Jesus. I'm ready to see you. Not a joke. I was hurting so bad. It was like a week plus I had been hurting like this, y'all. Like, ooh. But by the grace of God, I'm here. So I ended up pooping, y'all, and then we left the hospital. And the whole time on the ride home, I was laying back, and my mom, and like every bump she hit, I don't care if it was like a little. Oh my gosh, y'all, it hurt so bad. It hurt bad. Like every little move or turn she made, she was just trying to drive so gentle, but it was just like nothing she could do. Everything hurt, and so I recovered really well, and yeah, that was my ectopic experience. I hope I never, by the grace of God, I never go through that again. Because when you have an ectopic, you are at a higher risk to have another ectopic. I did go ahead and get an HSG test done, which is, I'm not going to pronounce it. I will put the definition of it somewhere in the video. But I did have an HSG test done. My right tube is great. It is not blocked, no blockage, no nothing. So that's a blessing. Yeah, so I would definitely say signs and symptoms wise, if you're having an irregular cycle, if you're bleeding too much, or if your cycle like stops like 3 days, if you're normally 5 and it goes 2 or 3 days, just make sure you go to the GYN and get checked. Even if you get a negative pregnancy test, please go get checked. If you're having that intense pain that I cannot describe, please go and get checked. Don't go to WebMD, don't go to Google or YouTube. Just go get checked out, please, because it can really save your life. Because the doctor eventually told me after I went in for a checkup after the procedure, she was just like, if you would have hemorrhaged, it would have been fatal. It would have been fatal, because it was no way we were going to be able to stop that blood if we wouldn't have got in there and got the baby out. Because she said when she took it out, I had to been probably about 8 to 10 weeks in my tube. It was about to burst. So I thank the grace of God that I paid attention to my body. And that's the positive thing that I got out of going through this is be your best. You are your best advocate. Advocate for yourself. You know, these doctors, they go to school and they learn the tools they need to do. They need to learn to be better for you and take care of you. But you know your body more than anybody. You know what's hurting. You know what's abnormal for you. And they may think, oh, that's a normal thing for your body. No, not my body. My body doesn't do that. So you have to be your own advocate. And if you don't get anything out of this message or out of this video, please know that even if you're not even going through a pregnancy or infertility thing, just be your own advocate. You know something is wrong. If this doctor doesn't want to listen, go find you a doctor that's going to listen to you, do blood work, do imaging, do whatever you need to make sure that you're straight. Now, it is some hypochondriacs or whatever, I get that, but I'm saying, like, if you're healthy and you know something is wrong, please go get checked. Don't try to Google it and figure it out yourself. Like, just go get checked, because this was a life or death event that happened to me, and had I not paid attention to my body, it could have been very, 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 very bad. So that's my ectopic story. Signs and symptoms, once again, you know, just the really intense pain and the abnormal bleeding. That's it. I call ectopic pregnancy like a silent killer, because it takes weeks. It takes weeks for that the gestational sac to get big enough for you to start feeling the pain. Because, you know, the further along you are, the bigger it gets, the more pain you feel. But you can have an ectopic pregnancy and don't even know it. But that's why it's so important to go ahead and know your body, and go ahead and get checked early, so they can take care of it early and monitor it. And that's all that they can do. Don't get so caught up on the statistics. I know it is statistics out there. You can have, I don't know what the technical thing is, 35%, or you can have another ectopic. But you know what? We're going to put that in the hands of God, and we're going to say that we're going to have our baby. We're not going to have another ectopic. You know, it's all about what you feed your body. Remember, this is I Am the B.F.P, where we're being the positive we want to see. So we're not going to get too caught up on the logistics of it. We're going to know that they're there, but at the end of the day, we're going to put our trust in God, our love in God, and we're going to, you know, feed our body that positivity that we need to make sure that we can carry our baby to full term. That's the whole goal, right? We want to make sure that we keep our minds and our bodies clear and positive and loving. So focus on working out, focus on eating right, you know, do stuff with your partner, go hang out with your friends, you know, find like little fun stuff to do, go for a walk, or, you know, do things to keep your mind on what you want. And that's all I'm saying, y'all. That's all that I Am the B.F.P is about. Do things to keep your mind on what you want, okay? So I'm gonna end this video, but if you have any questions about my ectopic pregnancy story, please put them in the comments below. Follow me on Instagram at iamtheb.f.p, or follow me on TikTok at iamthebfp. And I'm gonna do like some cute little TikTok dances, but y'all, these kids these days, child. Whew, I'm picking a little cute little dance for y'all, but I don't know at this point. I'm gonna do a little something. I'm gonna get my sister to do something with it. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate you guys for watching. I love you guys so much. I appreciate all the love. I'm hoping that God has placed me here to touch someone's heart. It may not be everybody. Like I said, this message is not for everybody, but if you get anything out of this, just put yourself first. Love God, love you, do stuff for you, manifest, do your affirmations, and pray for what you want. It's good to ask for, write down what you want, no matter how big, no matter how small. If you want it, you can get it. Align yourself with that. Put it in the universe. Put in the universe what you want. Don't say what you can have. Get out of your own head, okay? So as we move forward through my infertility journey, the next video is going to talk about another infertility situation that I had, and I hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, I am the BFP. Be the positive you want to see. Have a great day. Bye.